The decision to build the Glen Canyon Dam in 1963 was surrounded by controversy new to the 1950s and 60s. The term environmentalist had emerged in the American world, and the environmentalists were running hard against the damming projects during this time. The United States government had discovered the usefulness of water power and new ways to harness this resource to the best of their advantage. However, the best ways economically to use water power was not always the best way environmentally, and the new environmentalist groups took hold of the unspoken world of nature and decided to speak up. In the early 1900s, the question of water allocation was being discussed by the United States government. The more people moved to the western states, the more the issue of needed water became visible. The answers to water allocation included plans to build around 14 dams on the Colorado River to keep it from flowing into the ocean. One of these dams was the Glen Canyon Dam, which was proposed to have 7.5 million acre-feet of water flow downstream to consumers every year. Because of these plans, the environmentalist groups showed their opposition. One of these groups, the Sierra Club founded in 1890, was adamant in showing their desires for the abolishment of the building plans that would ruin not only the beauty of the Glen Canyon Dam, but also Indian worship sites and species of animals and insects as well. Eliot Porter's first experience of Glen Canyon in working with the Sierra Club transformed him from a theoretical and intellectual conservationist to an emotional and militant conservationist. In his book, Eliot Porter, Porter further described his trip. This was an experience unlike any I had ever enjoyed before. Here I was at the bottom of the narrow canyon looking up at the vertical walls, rather than looking down from above, a more intimate perspective. Despite urges from geologists, engineers, and Eliot Porter's documentary on the canyon with the Sierra Club, the Glen Canyon Dam was built. After the dam was built, the Sierra Club combined Eliot Porter's photographic documentary and descriptions of the canyon's beauty and history into the book The Place No One Knew. It was sent to every member of Congress, and the western damming of the Colorado River was halted. One member of the Sierra Club stated that the book probably saved the Grand Canyon from becoming a bathtub. Much of Eliot Porter's work on the Glen Canyon in association with the Sierra Club brought to view many environmental issues. Their work with the Glen Canyon Dam is being looked at to this day for answers to the questions of whether or not the canyon should be drained to uncover the beauty that was covered up. Other major questions that stem from this are whether draining the dam would bring about more environmental issues. Will the canyon look as beautiful as before? Will the tourists that use the recreation center now return to use it in a different way? As stated by the Glen Canyon Institute, whose main mission is focused on the restoration of Glen Canyon and the free-flowing Colorado River, the construction of the Glen Canyon Dam has caused untold damage. The release of cold, clear water from the Glen Canyon Dam has severely damaged the Grand Canyon ecosystem and endangered countless native fish and wildlife species. The issues surrounding Glen Canyon Dam and the questions of whether or not the canyon should stay dammed or allowed to drain centers on the history of the canyon, the life that existed there before, and how it is affecting the environment today. Porter's documentation of the canyon helps today's decision makers on this issue realize the beauty of the canyon before it was flooded and how draining it may drastically change the environment yet again.